Good morning, J Rose. How have you been?
Really good. Busy with school but staying safe.
Of course, staying safe is at this time is very important, which is why we are here today to virtually interview one of our established and local interior designers, IDR Pimentel.
Yes, she is a graduate of the University of San Carlos and has worked on countless interior design projects, mostly residential and office spaces.
Yes, I agree. Let us welcome her with a round of applause.
The first question would be, what were your thoughts back when you were a fresh graduate?
I graduated March 2014. Even before that, I was already fixated that I'm not going to take the board exam right away. I'm not ready for that next phase because I'm quite in a limbo if mag-juggle na ako. Kaya na-juggle man ako ang thesis and work. For me, it was a bit draining somehow yet satisfying. I'm working because I failed on my first thesis. I was given an ultimatum that my mom's no longer going to support me for that matter. This year, I failed. I'm going to take a 1 year off, and then the following year, I'm going to prepare everything. We can never be perfect in any way, in any rate. So after I failed, of course, depressed pa ang peg, nga na. So at time, nangita na din kog mga what's going to be my next resort. So I made a timeline until that day I'm going to present. It was already scheduled and planned out. So as a fresh grad, I knew na next year I'm going to take this. On 2015, I'm going to be interior designer. So by 2016, I'm going to start my practice as a side business.
For the second question, Miss,
Okay.
was starting the firm a forefront runner after you obtained your license?
It was always been my goal. Premier design was like born ahead of when I started. I started doing freelancing 2016 after I acquired my license. But that plan has been long overdue. Way back when I was really young. I mean like grade 1, grade 2, perminak matos principal's office because I was selling this and that even if I don't need to or I have to. One way how you also assess because at the end of the day, you need to know who you are. Are you a follower, a leader, or ganahan ka na ikaw ang organize in both? Because these are very helpful in any work that you do. So I already knew that as I was entrepreneurial at that time. When planning to have design for, it's like a dream come true for me. Though it doesn't come with a lot of hardships. It really took a lot of time because I swayed during college. I went left in a way. When I was supposed to go straight, 2016 yun ko, okay, let's start mga projects na. So, kahit pa paano, even if I'm not that, I would say na expert kayo kung mga joinery, o sa una lang na kay, there's so many things that I have not learned pa naman. So, I worked with the engineers at first, with contractors, and then from there, over time, I learned. Until 2019, I decided na to register it na gyud. The registration ko a while and then 2020 siya na nahuman o registration. And I plan pa ko COVID.
What was your struggles when you started your business?
Because I came late in field of industry. Supposedly, I think I should be graduating around 2011. But then, it was a setback. I graduated on the late 2014. A big gap on my part. So, one thing that I've encountered in the business was my credibility as a designer. Mana sila, naday course sa interior design. Okay. Asa kan sa San Carlos? Okay. That's good. But the question is, do you have your portfolio? That's what where I cannot answer at all. Sir, kanara bisong thesis. Ay, di na daday design daday mo day. Nga na ba? Not all your clients are going to speak to you in English. Some are very casual and blunt about how they think. Some would really turn you down in a snap because they think na you're not a good fit for them. The problem is not you or them. It's just that they don't see it eye to eye. As a new interior designer, you will think that it's an opportunity for you to grow. But the client may think also na ay bago pa basing mas dako ako magasto. They have their own fears. You also need to understand that one. So if you wanted to start, you start small sa
How did Premier Design Interiors come to be?
yeah, like before I earlier said that I already planned it out and then naming it was not supposed to be Premiere. It was supposed to be Pimentel Premier. That's why there's double P on my logo. But then even if I can leverage my name, I don't want to use it because I don't see it in the future na ay tungod naman na siyang apelyido mo na nagkang kliyente. I don't like that. It should be my work manggod para lang nako at that time. I think before I launched on, I decided na we'll go for Premier Design Interiors. Because it's like we design interiors, mama na siya. How it came to be, my vision was that I wanted to have my own design firm before I turned 30. Ana na siya.
Number 5, what was your most memorable project during your career and what, if any, have you learned from it?
Memorable. I think each project for me is memorable naman eh because it's always a learning curve. But one, I think I would say siguro I have this project. It's not the most happiest, no, because lahi man gud na siyang happiest. If you wanted to next is the mistake you have acquired. So that project, I learned how to stand on my ground. At the time, my client was pushing me do this, do that. I became that yes person to her because okay miss, yes miss, okay miss, I will do this, I will revise. And to think I did a lot of work already. So it was me devaluing myself, which I learned on the later on or during the process.
It should be her and the contractor, but she insisted, dili ko gusto, ikaw lang ang kapirma. So, of course, it was a more of a trust. And then, at the end of the day, after the project, she went ghosting during the payables and everything. Okay, I will pay this if you finish this one. I will pay you if you finish this one. There was a lot of add-ons, and I should have seen the red flag already.
Number 6. Do you plan to expand the services of Premier Design?
Yes, actually, currently we're offering four services. So one is consultants. Usually, these are for like mga DIYers or people out of town na naslay balay or space and they just wanted to do something about it, but they don't know when to start pa or they just want our immediate start. Next was my full interior design service. That is interior design and project management. So we handle the design and the management, but you can hire your own contractor. We just coordinate with your contractor and what is needed. The third one was my turnkey. So that is design and build. We design and we are still the contractor. Then the fourth was the latest one that I provided was the virtual on interior design.
Number 7, how do you differentiate the easy and hard to please clients? How do you deal with hard clients or a professional and a person?
You cannot actually tell na if they're easy or hard clients because at first you make your own judgment naman, 'di ba? First impression last, as they say. So my first impression na friendly man siya, but then you try to observe how they talk, how they walk, how they speak, their tone of voice. Sometimes manggod ako kay sila tingog pero kuha na day sila very friendly and your impression was like, "Loy, maldita man ni siya." It was the opposite. And sometimes like Mark very nice pero stricta man di ay ni. So when it comes to easy and hard client, I determine them during our conversation, not on our first meeting, but all throughout the project.
Number 8, Miss. As a businesswoman, what struggles are foremost present and how do you deal with it?
I think the most struggle man siguro for me lang no, it's you or me actually. I would say it's me because mura ko sa nag-drive ka, you're the one leading where to go. Manggod. So, even if medyo nahanay na nako ang mga process nako before, o man akong gusto, but still, dili pa siya yung anak-anay because ako is, I'm having a hard time pa delegating things. Naanad man ko na ako lang sa tanan, I'll do this, I'll do that. That's why sometimes I'm so hard on my interns because I'm really struggling yun. I'm having a hard time delegating things.
So, number 9, in the world of interior design, what do you stand for?
So as of now, I wanted to create spaces for a better living. For me to define that further or expound that one is it has to talk about your life because I think my philosophy before was interior design that will match lifestyle. I wanted to better living because back then kay more manggod na sige taglaag ing ani our lifestyle was different back then pre-COVID. If I wanted to be in space, how do I feel like? It's more of an emotional level na maoning mura gani siya materialistic kaayo ng dating sa akong philosophy. For me, if I need to reassess myself, for me, I always go to this place, so it has to reflect me. But right now, for me, I wanted a space for better living because I wanted it to be like holistic in a way na dili lang puro ako or that user alone. I have to think of other people who might be using it as well. Even if it's my personal dwelling, I also have to think na what if someone visits me? But what if mukuan kong pet? I want something na the lifestyle will still fit in sa interiors karon because most people are always indoors like kami. We used to go to the gym. We used to go to this place in ana kay para to relax and wine to coffee shop. Sa karon is it's mostly what is more essential na lang parts of what is going on right now and how to take care of our mental health as well. Karon, my personal level, I just started bringing all my things out. I could have let go a long time ago. It's just that me hoarding all this stuff because I thought it was important because it was a part of me. When in fact, this could have been let go na because I wanted na, okay, clear na ko akong mind. I want a fresh start. I want to focus on this one and this one. Like I said, again, my philosophy right now is creating spaces for a better living. So, it's up to you na po kung unsaon ninyo pag-interpret that one because you might have a different interpretations for that. But for me, it was more on my state of mind as of now. And if I could apply that to my clients' interiors as well.
For
Yes.
last is number 10.
Yes.
What insights can you give to the future interior design professionals who are also looking to start their own business firm?
If you wanted to start your business firm, I think you should know if you're ready for it. Are you ready to become the leader of the design firm? Because you're not just going to talk about design. Mostly, what you will be tackling is financial, schedules, people. Number one, financial kay kontrata sa yung kliyente, their budget, your budget. How are you going to make sweldo to your team? How long are you going to do this one? Nadigya pong kamalugi. Next is people is you're going to manage them. You deal with people, you follow up them because not right away after nimo mag-send og kanang drawing nila, i-prioritize ka nila. Remember, you're not just their client and you have a time schedule to follow through. Second, your people, how are you going to manage it? Because and every delay, it will reflect you as a leader, as the owner of that firm. Kay kung ma-delay ka, penalty ka. How are you going to navigate your contractor, your design team, and your client's turnover? If client will give you a 30 days timeline, how are you going to do that? How are you going to market yourself? How do you want people to perceive you, your brand? So either you work on your personal brand or you create a business brand. In my case, I created my business brand. The brand logo is just tip of the iceberg. How are you going to find client? That's your main role. How are you going to address other concerns that may arise? Like I said, people, your client, you will be handling them, your design team, your construction team, and the other external people involving in that project, even the building administration of your projects or whoever is in there. So daghan kay siya i-oversee nimo. These are mostly the three things that you have to look on. And also yourself. You really need to be prepared na if you have to make your own research. Unsa may buhaton sa usa ka tag-iya, sa usa ka interior design firm. Unsa man ni mga kontrata kung posible na i-offer, what are my services? Because your services is based on your strengths man. How many projects I'll be able to accommodate in a month? How long does a construction project will go after this design phase? There's so many things that you need to think about and you need to be prepared because at the end of the day, no matter how good your marketing is, but if your customer service is not good, it's going to be a very hard bounce back. Like I said, if you're ready to dive into have your own design firm, you have to make your own research. What works for you and how you want to do it. Kay lain-lain man tagpamaagi. Kana rin siya.
The things I learned after I interviewed IDR Emari Pimentel was that even professionals have their own struggles, and starting their own business isn't as easy as it seems. There are a lot of factors you have to distinguish, to know about, and to see which parts of those factors you can accomplish and what not. You need to learn your limits before starting your own business, and then you can base your success off of that. She also mentioned something about clients wanting verbal discussions and not on paper. It's something that you as a professional are going to take risks for. It's a huge risk, and you always have to make sure that you are secure when it comes to dealing with huge projects and with those types of clients. You have to make sure that everything is on paper, signed, sealed by a lawyer, so that it makes it legal, and then that you as a designer and a professional and an owner of the firm is safe in case of any mal happening. It's also important to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Develop your strengths, hone your weaknesses so that it doesn't become a weakness even more, and to know where you stand for as a professional and as a person. That's all.
It is a privilege to be able to interview IDR Pimentel. She has shared a lot of insights through life experience, which made me learn and realize a lot of things from her thesis, graduation, work, how she started her business, and what she has achieved throughout those years, starting from scratch and going through all the struggles but never gave up and set herself on the goal. How who she has become was a reflection of herself growing up, the very unique story of how her own brand came to be. I am very much delighted and inspired on how she made it through to pursue her business and did not give up even though she went through an experience when a client had done ghosting and she lost a huge amount of money. I also had realizations that it is a good business strategy where you should not directly make the focus toward the designer or owner of the business, but the work and the services given to clients, reflecting the person behind which builds the reputation. Throughout the entire interview, I have seen the importance of why we students are taught business management and public relations, how important contracts are, and the laws related enable for you to defend yourself as future professionals.